Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Raising Cane's on 16th Avenue. It's Tuesday, and you know what that means, Kinsley. It's time for Kicking It with the Coach. We've got a big show today. We've got Coach Keith Braddock, as always, from Northeast Jones in. We also have line coach Lane Jordan. And our player of the week, our pal, Ethan Moss, is going to talk to us today, Kinsley. We also have Coach Brad Phillips. We have Dr. Scott Carson of Southeastern Baptist College, and we have a former Tiger alumni, Antonio Curry. They call him Nuki, so he's going to join us today and talk with us. So, Kinsley, we've got a jam-packed show today.
We do, man. How did you pull this one off?
Well, you know, you just got to know how to work the system. You got to know how to talk to people, and you got to have a little class about yourself, you know, and that's what we all about here on the show.
All about over here, man, out here. But you know what? We do have a jam-packed show, but you know what? Like they say, the more the merrier. So we're going to have a good time with some good old Raising Cane's chicken.
Hey, you can't beat that Raising Cane's chicken.
Beat it, man. And that good old sauce and good old sweet tea, man, and that toast, man,
hey, you can't beat it, man. I tell you what, there's nothing like it nowhere, you know. So, by the way, so you had, at the insistence of me, B3 supervisor Barry Saul, you finally had you a ribeye sandwich Friday night at the fair, didn't you?
I did, man, and it's amazing.
Did you like it?
I love it. You know, I knew I loved the ribeye. I just never had it on a sandwich. Man, you take that and some good old peppers and onions. Oh man, you in for a treat.
Hey, make you want to slap your mama, won't it?
Well, if I do that, I might not eat another one.
Okay.
But I'll see where you're coming from.
It's just that good. Ain't it? It's that good.
And you know what? I'll be trying another one tonight, to be honest.
Okay, yeah, I am too. So we're going to have a good time down there and enjoy the fair activity. So, Coach, another tough loss this week to a talented equipment team. Equipment is always, have great athletes, coached by Stephen Bynum up there. And you guys will play another tough region team, Mendenhall.
Yeah, it seems like each week we it doesn't get any easier. They're all tough. I told somebody the other day, I said, we don't make excuses. We're going to line up and go play. But if you look at our schedule, and I don't know that we'd be the favorite in any of our games. If Las Vegas put a line on it, I said that makes it tough. But like I talked to the kids yesterday, and we had a great day of practice. The kids are acting right. They're still, they understand where we're at. They understand you get two big wins here, and you still got a chance to get in the playoffs. And they understand in real life situations, there are going to be years like this. There are going to be years that because of our past success and the type of kids we have and coaches, it's tough to schedule, and you're going to have to go out and schedule those dogs, as we say, and. You're not always going to end up on top, but there's no reason to not, keep fighting, show class, and act with character. And that's what all these guys, that we got are doing and have been doing. So I'm proud of that. But come 7 o'clock Friday, we're going to go battle again, and I'll have 55 kids that think they're going to win, and they're 10 coaches, and we believe we're going to win. And maybe like last year, we'll go up there and upset them again, because that's what we feel like we can do.
And Coach, going into this game, and said this is the final home game in this senior night. What do you sense is the language that you're sensing from the players going into this game?
Well, it's like I told them yesterday. Look, we can't hide from where we're at. We're struggling a little bit, but they've had this senior class has had successful career at Northeast. They've had a great career. All right, let's take these last. If it's only 2 weeks left, so be it. Let's take these last 2 weeks, which is going to accumulate to 6 practices and 2 walkthroughs. Let's take it and let's make it fun. Let's do it the right way. Let's still work. Let's still grind. But let's go have some fun, because that's what it's supposed to be about. They're acting right. They're doing well in the classroom. Let's take these last 2 weeks and let's just go have fun. Let's have fun at practice. That's why you play the game. Let's have fun at practice, and let's see what happens Friday. That was our motto last year, and like I mentioned before, we go up there and upset those guys. So that's going to be the motto now.
All right, now let's talk with our pal from this past week against Quitman, Ethan Moss. Ethan played both sides of the football on the offensive line and defensive line and did a really good job, Kinsley. It seemed like we called his name out a bunch Friday night. And so, Ethan, talk about your play Friday night and talk about your coaches. How have they helped you this season, to overcome some of these obstacles that have been a tough year so far?
Well, like you said, we've had a tough schedule this year, probably one of the toughest in 4A. And we just got to keep going. We never quit, and that's one thing about Tiger football. No matter what the score is, how far we are down, or how bad it is, we just keep fighting and clawing. And we're 0-8 right now, but we're going to still keep on fighting, trying to send them seniors out because they deserve it. Good way. Like I said, still chance of playoffs, and I believe we can make it, no doubt. We just got to have the right situation.
Okay, and Ethan, Coach told me that you last week you performed on offense and defensive line. So talk about how the week of practice has been leading up to that game, and how was that transition going for you to have to perform on both sides of the ball?
Well, originally when I first started playing football, I already played offensive line, which helped me on the D line because I knew some of the lineups that they were going to be in, and it transfers over to the ones very great because you're playing D line and O line, and you got to go against the D-line and O-line at the same time. So you kind of carry over what you learn to O-line against D-line and carry what you learn against D-line to O-line.
Okay, so having doing that, did you find that kind of was it kind of difficult, or is this something that just comes naturally for you to be able to do both?
Well, I think it's pretty natural because I've played them two all my life as it has been, and it just kind of natural. I mean, yeah, I mess up a little bit, but we all do, but we just gotta go to the next play. You can't think about it because you can't get a redo on Fridays.
Okay. So which one you like the best?
Probably D-line, but I like O-line a lot. I had a lot of fun on the O-line Friday for sure, a lot more than I usually do.
All right. He graded out as the highest offensive lineman, and so that says a lot for, to be able to play both ways out there. So his coach is Lane Jordan. Lane, we go way back to JCJC. Talk about Ethan Moss's play this past week, and talk about, the rest of your guys in your unit.
Yeah, we've had some injuries on the offensive line, and we brought Ethan in a couple weeks ago to try to help us on the offensive line since we have so many injuries, and he's just done really well for us since coming over there. I mean, we come to work every day and we work hard. We get after every day. I mean, they do everything we tell them to do. I mean, we're going through a tough stretch right now, but they still got good attitudes and come to work every day ready to go. And we're just going to take it one game at a time and try to get better.
Okay, and this is your first year with the team, correct? Talk about from the beginning how you've seen the offensive line gel and come together.
Well, like I said, at the beginning of the year, we were decent, and as time go on, we've had some injuries, and we've had to overcome a lot of injuries, a lot of adversity. As right now, we don't have the offensive line that we had at the beginning of the year. It's mostly injured, so we got basically a new offensive line in right now, and they work their butts off. When we call on them, they're and ready to go.
Okay. So what's talk about like the uniqueness of this team to you? I mean, considering that you coached at other places, so what makes this Northeast team unique in your eyes?
I mean, as bad as it's been going for us right now, I mean, just the fight that they play with, and they play with a lot of heart. They get after it. I mean, like yesterday, we had a really good day of practice, and they just come to work ready to go every day.
And that's a really good mindset to have. I said, like I tell John during the week, I mean, we know the tradition of Northeast football. I mean, it goes well beyond, the years that we were there. And Northeast we just have one of the best traditions in Jones County. And I mean, just, this season, it has been rough. But I mean, Northeast, we will agree, Northeast has a talented team. It's just the schedule. We just play some top-notch talent this year, and it's just a lot of people. They don't give the Northeast the credit that they deserve, because people are like, well, look at their record. I'm like, but have you looked at their schedule? I mean, most teams around here haven't played half the teams that Northeast has played. And so I mean, would your record be that good had you played these teams? So that's the thing that you really have to think about. I mean, Northeast, I mean, they're a tough team. I mean, tough as nails. I mean, Northeast, never been proven to, back down from any team who wants to play them. But, me and John, we talk every week, and I was like, Northeast has a really good team. I mean, they do. They good quality players. I mean, the character of the team is just second to none, really. So, and that's all hats off to you, Coach Braddock. I mean, just the type of guys that you field every Friday. I mean, you see these guys Monday through Friday. I mean, you really are a big influence in their life, and they really look up to you as like a father figure, just what you do for them. And so, I mean, hats off to you for that. I mean, there's a lot of coaches out there that, are really interested in the well-being, of their team. I mean, most coaches, they just go for, hey, let's go out there, let's just get a win. That's all they're worried about. They're not worried about the kids. They just want to win. But I mean, a coach like Coach Brad, I mean, not only, I mean, he wants to win, but I mean, he also has the mindset of molding these men into fine young gentlemen, who'd be a good positive influence in society.
Yeah, those are some true words, Kinsley, and you nailed it. And so I'm glad you brought that out. So Coach, talking about Mendenhall, what can we expect from the Tigers Friday night in the Jungle?
Very athletic, as always. Quarterback, things break down, what have you. Quarterback, runs around and makes a play. Defensively, they run. You'll see them on film, and they'll give up 2 or 3 plays, and all of a sudden they'll hit you behind the line of scrimmage, or create a turnover. But the main thing is athleticism. How athletic they are, and they got a couple of guys on the edge that can really, really run. Receiver, running back, they use him as a little slot guy, and then the quarterback, who's a coach's son, who's a baseball player, who's a really, really good player. When things break down, he can make things happen. He's a terrific player.
All right. Well, y'all go out and support the Tigers Friday night in the Jungle at 7 o'clock. If you can't make the game, be sure to tune in to hear me and Kinsley call the game on our Facebook page, Something to Talk About, Laurel, Hattiesburg. We'll be kicking off there at 6:45 with your pregame show and telling you all about the series and the history between the Tigers and Tigers. So, Kinsley, are you ready for the ball game Friday night?
I'm ready for the ball game, and to be honest, John, this is it's one of the saddest games for me because I always get emotional about senior night. Last home game. But I remember my senior night, ball game. I mean, I boo-hooed on the field, man. I really did. It's a sad time because it's like, hey, it's the last home game as a Tiger for some of these players, and so it's just one of those games where you just just want to go out there, play your heart out, play the best game of your NEJ life. Just play one for the memories.
Absolutely. So, another good point, and y'all go out and support the Tigers, the Northeast Jones Tigers, that is, Friday night at home against Mendenhall. And switching gears now, Kinsley, we've been awarded the opportunity to call a little college basketball this fall. A new, not college, because they've been here since, the 50s? Been here a long time. 1948. So Southeastern Baptist College has revamped and rejuvenated their basketball team. They were pretty good back in the 70s and 80s, and Coach Brad Phillips has been awarded the job to try to continue that success for the Chargers. And we're going to be talking with Southeastern Baptist College President Dr. Scott Carson, as well as Antonio Curry, a former Northeast Jones Tiger. In his senior year, they went 7-3 in the regular season. So maybe him being here will provide a little luck for the Tigers Friday night against Mendenhall. So, Coach, it's good to have you. You guys played this past weekend down in Louisiana and went 1-1. If I do remember you telling me yesterday, tied. Okay, so there you go. Talk about that, and talk about Antonio. How did he do this weekend? And just tell us about how the season. The first home game's coming up 2 weeks from Saturday. So talk about that some.
Yes, sir. We played at LSU Alexander this weekend, had a scrimmage, played CMP Prep. They're out of Louisiana, and also plays Louisiana Christian Prep School as well. I thought we played real well. We beat CMP Prep 89 to 80. Played a lot of guys.